Hi, friends, YouTube, enjoyers of the finer things in life, as well as outdoor good times. If you ever wanted to or have held something big in your hand, capable of shooting big loads, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Be sure you're subscribed. We got a lot of fun stuff coming up in 2026. We got tax restrictions being lifted. We got things coming up, events, things, shiny things to look at. It's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you're on board. But today we are going to be talking about something kind of interesting, a concept known as the GWOT clone for the prepared citizen. But before I get into this, I wanted to make a couple of statements just so people are clear. This really isn't a prepper channel or a preparedness channel, even though we're talking about rifles and shit for citizen preparedness. This is really more of a fun gear and antics channel. I just wanted to make that clear that I'm not saying that you should go buy this. In some ways, some aspects of this are actually kind of silly for practical use, but we're just here to have fun today. So be sure you keep that in context. Now, what this is an outstanding, in my opinion, GWOT inspired clone build. Now, I'm not going to go all the way to call this the ultimate GWOT clone, although I'll probably put that in the thumbnail or something. But this is a GWOT inspired build, if you will. It wouldn't be clone correct, if you will, but it does have several aspects of the GWOT era incorporated into it that make it kind of neat and cool to look at. So now, first of all, just because I'm sure some people are wondering, what is my individual, I guess, relationship with the GWOT? Well, my relationship with the GWOT is a bit limited, but a bit bittersweet, being that I kind of helped kick it off. Now, if those of you that are familiar with the duty base Herbert Field and its heavy involvement in the kickoff of the GWOT, I did spend 4 years on Herbert Field, well, mostly when I was stateside at Herbert Field. That was my duty base. I wasn't in Special Forces, but I wasn't technically in Special Ops. I was in the 16th Special Operations Wing at the time and the 16th Transportation Squadron. It went on to be renamed the 16th Logistics Readiness Squadron. My particular AFSC, what I did in the military, was I fixed Oshkosh R-11 aircraft refueling trucks. I kept the C-130s in the air and did my part to support the effort. I did what I did, went where I was supposed to do. I was an outstanding troop. They tried to get me to stay in, but I wanted to get out and, play rock and roll and do stuff like that. So anyway, with all that aside, what is this? Well, this is a Daniel Defense M4A1 with the SOPMOD RIS-2 handguard. That is a big old chonkus of a quad rail handguard on there, the SOPMOD RIS-2 handguard. And we will go through this in detail from tip to butt, because that seems to be how everybody prefers it. So what we have here is a Surefire SF3P muzzle device. This will made up against the Surefire line of suppressors, and I do have an RC2 in Purgatory, which I hope to take home here within a couple of weeks. It has the Daniel Defense standard barrel. I don't have a SOCOM barrel. That would be preferable, but it has the DD 1-in-7 twist, cold hammer forged, all the doodads, Daniel Defense barrel. It's got some stunning rail covers there. I don't remember the name of that company, but I do know it was made. No, these are not the ones made in the United States. These are the Amazon specials. So just some standard 1913 style handguard covers. Now, of course, everybody's seeing the big chongus there, the big to-do. That is the 37 millimeter M203 from Lewis Machine and Tool. And no, it's not a 40 millimeter. I know lots of people that I've seen in comment sections on Reddit and on YouTube channels like to poke fun. To those that don't understand not only the limits, but the possibilities of the 37 millimeter, I say to them, they're not thinking creatively. That's all I have to say. And secondly, let me see your 40 millimeter material and content. Just saying. Now, the 37 millimeter launcher is capable of shooting lots of awesome different kinds of loads. You can buy them. Some are restricted, some are not. Some you can make. I've made a lot of my own through the summer months into the fall months of this year. Okay. We did start off with the TAC 79 or TAC D M203 style from exoticammo.com. We did do some content on that in the past. I'll put a link in the description so you can go check that out. And in the future, we will do content comparing the two. So off the cuff, I'm sure you can probably understand that the LMT is of much higher quality than the exotic ammo. Not knocking them, just saying you pay for what you get. The cool thing about the LMT M203, even in 37 millimeter, is the exact construction of the 40 millimeter, which I have seen in person, all the way to the fact that this actually punches the exotic ammo 37 millimeter shotgun shell primer rounds so hard it sticks into them. So definitely engineered for probably more of the heavier stuff, if you will. It does have a Magpul empty magazine in it. This rifle is empty and safe. So Cerro Forge, now this is an actual build, okay? And here's the thing, and I'll give you a little bit of gold here, because again, you know, I was in the special operations wing, but I was a mechanic. But I have had some mentors, teachers, and trainers that were SF. And one of the things that they told me, for your go to war, for your Teguaki, your, you know, SHTF gun, his advice, and this is free gold, and most of you won't take it, so go get you a quality, reputable AR builder known for their quality control, military contract, whether that be Colt of certain years, Daniel Defense, you can look into LMT, Knights Armament, Geisley, things of that nature. Get yourself a quality build, learn it, then buy a second one. Free gold. So this is a factory build though, and it has pretty much the same upper and of course the M4A1 lower. Forge marks seem to indicate on both rifles that they were manufactured at Cerro Forge. So that is the upper. The lower is the actual Daniel Defense M4A1 lower. It has an upgraded bolt catch release there, as you can see. Now, I didn't build this rifle. This actually, well, I added a lot of the stuff onto it, but the core rifle was somebody's lost dream. On the shelf as a consignment gun at the shop, already had the Surefire on it and the basic build of the upper and the lower and the wrist too. The rest is all my addition. So that being said, I don't know what the trigger is, but it is excellent. It is excellent. It doesn't have any markings on it. It's a little bit lighter than mil spec, and I wish I knew what it was, but it's just an amazing trigger. Not clone correct would be the ambidextrous safety. It has the BCM. Is that the BCM gunfighter? Yeah, BCM gunfighter pistol grip, which I had these standardized to like probably 3 or 4 rifles. So got one on that one, got one on my Mark 18. Now this is a recent addition as of yesterday. This is a brand new B5 SOPMOD buttstock, SOPMOD. So it's a little bit thicker and it has storage for batteries and maps and other doodads. I don't know, Skittles. And then we have the Vickers padded Blue Force Gear sling. So one of my favorite sling configurations. Now, of course, we will go to some of the actual add-ons here. We have a classic Trichicon ACOG. That is the, I can't remember the model number. What is it, like TA31? It's got the chevron. It's the 4x32 classic ACOG. Has M-Bus Magpul backup lights and a Surefire scout light. That is the 1500 lumen dual fuel scout light from Surefire. So again, not completely clone correct, clone inspired. Runs great. It's a badass rifle, and I really have no complaints other than I wish these old school ACOG mounts weren't so janky, but I really haven't had any problems with it. So again, you can go back through the history of the SOPMOD program to look into the ways that this is, you know, GWOT inspired, if you will. The SOPMOD program stands for the Special, what is it? Special Operations Peculiar Modification Program. It had a Block 1, it had a Block 2. It started in the early 2000s, went into the 2000 teens, had the numerous incarnations of the program involving, of course, the RIS-2. It involved various different types of optics, the LCAN, Uh, Early lighting systems, especially in Block 1, very rudimentary early, even incandescent bulb lights. They didn't even have LED lights at first, and they were rocking like 150, 250 lumens. I'm not an expert on this. Again, I did have a little bit of involvement in the GWOT, but I was just a mechanic. So a lot of what I've learned is from mentors that were SF. And then another great source is, I can't remember the one, he was an SF guy. He has a YouTube channel as a source that I don't know personally. And then another great source of information on the entire M4 line development as well as deployment into the United States military as well as around the world would be Small Arms Solutions, another YouTube channel, excellent source on the M4 carbine and all of its variants, to include the M16, the early development, and beyond. So I don't really care for much of the modern, despite the name of the channel, I'm not really getting into the new SIG rifle that they're messing with. I have an opinion, it's just an opinion and a theory, that most militaries, not most, but from what I understand, a lot of militaries that have used the M4 carbine or a variant of the M4 carbine moved away from it, have moved back to it. It's just really a do-it-all platform. And I mean, it's Legos for men and women, and just a really versatile platform for doing things and being ready. So that is my GWOT inspired clone for the Prepared Citizen. Does this have a good application for Prepared Citizen? Well, I can think of a couple applications. Maybe you can as well. Put them down in the comment section if you can think of some, or don't. I can say these 37 millimeters can do more than people give them credit for. And we'll just leave it at that. So be sure to like, subscribe, do all the things. Again, we got some stuff coming up for 2026. It's going to be fun. And until next time, later.